I've been asked how I'm coping with the high gas prices. I've got answers. I'm Brian with Bulldog Delivers. Let's hit it! Welcome back to my channel with my second video of the new name, Bulldog Delivers. Really happy to have you coming back, and welcome again to all the new subscribers. Several more signed up this week. Thank you so much. It's great to have you here. So my really good friend Tom texted me last night. He said, "These gas prices are insane. You drive so much, how are you coping?" To which I replied, "It is insane. Sticking with BJ's gas using the credit card. I've also been very picky on which orders I accept. Fortunately, these past 2 weeks have been very busy and profitable, so I'm weathering it." Before you think I'm just running up gas on my credit card, there's a strategy to this, and it is a money-saving strategy that I have been using for a very long time. And this is something that I know will not work for some of you, but for those of you who are very disciplined financially, you can do this. So I've been doing the grocery shopping and food delivery gig work for the past 2 years, and during that entire time, I get my gas at BJ's Wholesale Club because that is consistently the cheapest place in my market, Pensacola, Florida, to get gas. That's about 98% of the time that is the case. And what I do to maximize my savings, I use the BJ's Perks credit card. Now, what I do with that card gets me 10 cents extra a gallon off the member price. So let's take a look at what that member price is right now. The member price, as you see, is $4.09. That's cheaper than most gas stations, which are typically charging about $4.20 to $4.30 a gallon here in Pensacola. Now, because I have the BJ's Perks credit card, I get an extra 10 cents a gallon off of that. So I would be paying $3.98 right now if I filled up. Now, I do this from a very disciplined standpoint. Every week, I pay that credit card off. I use that card for 2 purchases and 2 purchases only: gasoline and food at BJ's Wholesale Club. I do not use that card for anything else. Even though I do get points, which gives me money off at the checkout in the BJ's Wholesale Club, I still keep it very tight. And I pay that off every week. I do that for several reasons. One, it keeps my credit balances from getting too high, which also affects your credit score. And it keeps me disciplined so I do not get in trouble. I get paid every week through the food apps, so therefore I pay that credit card every week. I know some people will pay their credit cards monthly. That's not me. I pay it off weekly. I'm considered a deadbeat to some credit card companies because they don't ever earn interest from me. But that's not the only gas price saving tactics that I have. Here, let's take a look at another one. I am a T-Mobile customer, and every customer gets to take part in what's called T-Mobile Tuesdays. And T-Mobile Tuesdays is an app that you can get for T-Mobile customers, and you get a lot of free stuff every week or discounts on certain things. They can be car rentals, hotels, attractions. You'll sometimes get free stuff. I got a whole ton of free stuff from T-Mobile. Actually, I got my first insulated bags from T-Mobile. Every week, T-Mobile runs a Shell Fuel Rewards discount. So if you sign up for Shell Fuel Rewards through T-Mobile, you'll get 5 cents a gallon off every day. And every Tuesday, T-Mobile throws in another 5 cents a gallon that runs from Tuesday through Friday. So you get 10 cents a gallon currently from Tuesday through Friday if you're a T-Mobile customer using the Shell Fuel Rewards. Here, let me show you on my phone how that works. So I just go to my phone, and T-Mobile will send me notifications every Tuesday about T-Mobile Tuesdays. They'll even give you a reminder or two throughout the day. So I open that app for my notifications, or I can just go to wherever it resides on the phone. Now you see here, they give you, this week they're giving away a free stack of pancakes at Denny's, and then there's a 50% off admission at Legoland, or you can get $2 magazine subscriptions, and the list goes on and on. So let me just scroll down to the T-Mobile Tuesday Shell Fuel Rewards discount. So here it is. So I tap on that. My account has already been set up for a long time, so you see every Tuesday, score a total of 10 cents off per gallon on up to 20 gallons. And now you can save up to 5 cents a gallon every day with the extended gold status, no matter how often you fuel up. Now that's important to me because I rarely use Shell gasoline, so I did have a fuel rewards account through Winn-Dixie when they were running it a long time ago, but then my status went from 5 cents to 3 cents, and then eventually it just didn't work anymore because I rarely use that account. So let's go to save. Now it's processing, and since I have the app already on my phone, the Shell Fuel Rewards app, I just hit redeem, and it goes right into my account. Oh yes, and it does give you a rewards code to enter. You can do so manually or automatically. I have blocked this out just because of privacy purposes. I don't want you using my code. So then I just hit apply. Success, your balance, and here we go. I'm not going to rate you because I really don't like the app and I don't want to say unkind things. So I say okay. You see how it goes from 5 cents to 10 cents a gallon. And that's it. So when I show up at any Shell station, I tap on the screen, Fuel Rewards. I go to Alt ID because I don't have a physical card to scan for the fuel rewards. So I go to Alt ID and enter in my phone number, area code, and then 7 digits after that. And then it'll show me what discounts that I have available, which should be 10 cents next time I go to the pump. So when I go to a Shell station, I go to the ones that are a CircleK gas station. Now that's also important because that helps maximize my discounts, which I'll show you in just a second. Not all CircleK gas stations sell Shell gasoline, and not all Shell stations are CircleK stations. So you got to look at the ones that are both. And that's how I maximize my savings additionally with an extra 6 cents off a gallon with this CircleK Easy Pay card. Now these cards you can just get right inside the store. You'll probably have to take it home and sign up on a desktop computer. I don't think the process is that smooth on a cell phone. I don't remember. They probably updated it. I've had it for a few years, and the thing is built like Fort Knox. You ever want to change your PIN number, you're going to have a difficult time. You ever want to change anything with your card, it's going to be a difficult time. And yes, it does link up with your checking account, and I was nervous about that at first, but given how difficult it is to deal with them sometimes, I think it's probably going to be difficult for a hacker to get in your checking account, and I haven't had that problem. So this thing operates like a debit card because it does link to your checking account. You do set up a PIN number, and you just follow the instructions on the screen at the pump. So with this, I get an extra 16 cents off a gallon if I go to a CircleK. Now, how do I know where that is going to be? Well, let's take a look at the Gas Buddy app, which is a good tool to find gas near you. So let's take a look at that right now. So what I'll do is I'll go to my Gas Buddy app, and that will be over here. I'll take a look. Click on Find Gas. And there we go. Here's a whole listing of stations in and around my area. So as we see here, $4.11 is pretty good price at this Shell CircleK. I'm going to skip over this one because I've had problems at this station before with it honoring my fuel rewards and other discounts. So I don't even waste my time at that one. But here you go, Sam's Club at $4.07. And then we have this Shell station on Langley Avenue. This one I do go to from time to time. And when I use my Shell discounts, I get the fuel rewards through T-Mobile, 10 cents a gallon. Plus, at this station, if I use my Easy Pay card, which is a CircleK issued card that links up to your checking account,
then I get another 6 cents off of that. So I'm looking at 16 cents a gallon less off of this 411. So that brings me to what? 411 minus 16 brings a total to $3.95 per gallon.
I'm generally not a fan of CircleK. They are not the easiest company to deal with by any stretch of the imagination. I find some of their stores to be okay. I find others to be total dumps. So really, and I find that local management around here, especially the regional managers, are just completely non-responsive to customers' concerns. So I am not endorsing that company by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just telling you how I save money. Now, there's another service out there called Get Upside. This is one of those apps that you can upload your receipts to and you get cash back. I've heard a lot of the radio commercials. I am not sold on that. I don't want to be on anybody's marketing list because from what I've seen and heard so far, that is what you're signing up for. I don't want to deal with it. You may have a different experience than I do, and you probably will tell me that you can control how much communication you receive from them. I don't know. I need discounts right here, right now. That's what I'm going with, given how many times a week that I do need to fuel up. And since I do my budgeting on a weekly basis with my app-based income and pay those bills every week, like that gas credit card bill, I need that savings today, right now, on the spot. Maybe I can be persuaded into it. I like to hear your experiences with Get Upside. Now, there is one app that I work with that also offers gas discounts, and that's Uber Eats. Uber Eats, I currently have the 5 cent a gallon discount at BP gas stations, and I believe they also do Amoco gas stations. I don't have any Amoco gas stations here in this part of Florida, and there's very few BP stations around, and what few there are, that 5 cent a gallon just doesn't match up to anything that I can get at BJ's or using those stacked discounts at Shell Circle K. But I do want to show you those discounts that are available through Uber Eats. Let's take a look at the app. So I've already opened the Uber Eats app, and let's go to Uber Eats Pro. This is where your status is as a driver, and they have different levels of rewards. You have green, gold, platinum, where I'm at right now, and then diamond is after that. I'm only 70 more points away from diamond. This has actually been my very best month so far doing Uber Eats, which I've been doing since May of last year. So you get a whole bunch of rewards with each of those levels, and you can see I get discounted dental vision plan. I don't need that. I'm already covered. TurboTax self-employed discounts. I wish I'd known that before because I already bought the program. A free HSA. Already got that through my wife's work. The Arizona State University college tuition. I need to do 1,000 deliveries to be qualified for that. I don't have that yet. 25% off car maintenance. Okay, again, that's something you sign up for. I don't know the details on that. I've got a trusted mechanic that I deal with. I'm not changing. Priority support, that is very important. Your phone calls get answered right away when you call. 24/7 roadside assistance, there's an option. I did look into this. Not bad. QuickBooks self-employed discount, I'm actually thinking of getting that. And here is the gasoline. And then they also have this 25% cash back on fuel. I think, again, that is through the Get Upside app. So, okay, that's something you can consider. There's some rewards up there. New users, I can get 35 cents a gallon off of that. Okay, maybe I can look into that. But let's go into what I would be using on a fairly routine basis, or what would be more realistic situation for most of us. And that is save 7 cents a gallon with BP and Amoco. So I pull up this. Here's your details. You can get that off of every purchase and a one-time 15 cent a gallon with your second transaction. Now, I've already signed up for this a long time ago. So I go up to the pump. I enter in my phone number. I have to enter in a code before that. It might be 11 and then your phone number. At least that's how it is with Marathon. So we'll see. So here we go. Diamond. Gold, you get 5 cents. Oh, yes. And if you're green, you also get 5 cents a gallon. So here we go. Diamond and platinum, you get 7 cents a gallon.
That's pretty cool. And there's more details. Again, just look under Uber Eats Pro in your app, follow down to the gas discount, and you get all the information that you need from there.
And if you do find yourself at different gas stations than I have mentioned here, go inside and ask, do you have any rewards programs? And many gas stations do, and more gas stations will probably be coming online with more rewards, as this is going to become a competitive market as to who offers better rewards for who. So the second part of my response to Tom's question is I've also been very picky on which orders I accept. Fortunately, the past 2 weeks I've been very busy and profitable, so I'm weathering it. Yes, I have been extremely picky with the orders that I get. I work across 5 apps now: Instacart, Shipt, Uber Eats, Grubhub, and a real crummy app called Waiter, which is known as Bite Squad in other parts of the country. And I got this pop-up notification from Waiter just yesterday when I logged into the app, because I do run that in the background on slow days, and unfortunately Monday was a slow day. It was a little slower than usual, so I was kind of surprised by that, because I had a fantastic Sunday on Uber Eats particularly, and Grubhub wasn't bad, but Uber Eats really kicked butt on Sunday, which was just off the charts busy. But Waiter gave me this pop-up message, which I'm very proud of. Yes, that low acceptance rate you should actually wear as a badge of honor. Just like this one. That one's not bad either. So why do I wear those low acceptance rates as a badge of honor? Because I do not let these apps walk all over me. I don't sit and cry about strikes. I create my own strike on a daily basis. I decline, I reject. I decline, I reject. And I hit that X button all the time. No matter what the app is, I just don't take them. No matter what the app is, I just don't take them if they are a low payout. Now, I've been Instacart shopping for the past 2 years, and the very first year of Instacart was mind-blowing. It was phenomenal. I worked that one app almost exclusively. And then in late December 2020, I signed up for Shipt. I started doing a little bit of that. And then late last spring, I got into the food delivery apps, started with Uber Eats, then into Grubhub. I've been on a wait list for DoorDash, and I've also been doing Waiter. I did a little bit of that starting last summer too. So I really diversified that income, which has been a good thing to do. So when I got into the food delivery apps, I had been watching a lot of the other YouTubers to see what kind of advice that they give and how things operate, and them multi-apping and the like. And the one guy that really stuck out the most as to what my value is and what my goal perhaps should be, and that is you go for $2 a mile. Now, $2 a mile is a goal. That doesn't mean I will always hit that goal. I'm willing to compromise depending on a number of factors. On very busy days, like this past Sunday, I rejected a lot of offers. I turned a lot of things down. Why? Because the offers just kept coming at me one after another after another. I would reject one, and within seconds, another one would pop up. And I would just have to keep saying no, or decline, or reject many times over until that right one came along. And there were many that were $2 a mile. Now, why do I want to go for $2 a mile? You need to think about you driving to the restaurant. It's not every time you accept an order are you sitting across the street from the restaurant or even in their parking lot. You are typically going to have to drive a few miles to it. For me, it's usually 1, 2, 3 miles. In some cases, I may have to travel 4 miles, then to the customer's house, and then back again. And in this market, it's not unusual to have a 7 or 8 mile delivery, sometimes even 10 miles delivery. So you better believe that payout has to be worth it, because a lot of those orders will take me to the far reaches of the area where there's nothing on the other end to wait for. So that means I need to drive back to my hot zone. So you have to factor in that time and how much money are you earning in that time. I have my goals. I go with what my market reasonably supports. And that here is typically $20 an hour on average. Now, some days I will make more, Some days I will make less. Monday was one of those days I made a lot less than $20 an hour. I think I was closer to $15 an hour, and I did use a few more miles than I did on Sunday, where I made a lot more money for less. So it's just kind of weird. Every day is different, and you just hope that at the end of the week it balances itself out. So when do I compromise for that less than $2 a mile? Okay, my starting point is $1.50 a mile? Fine. If I'm within eyesight of the store or restaurant, yes, I will go there. If I also know that I will not be waiting at that restaurant, there are some places that I just will not go to because the waits are constantly hideously long, like a lot of the fast food joints. Popeyes is one of those places I always have to wait, so I am not going to take a $6 order out of there. Chinese restaurants in my area, they're all great. They all have the stuff waiting for me when I walk in the door. And there's one independent restaurant, they do Chinese, Japanese, and Thai, and they have the stuff on the counter waiting for the delivery drivers. Why? Because the girls that work that counter also do what we do. So that's one of the few places in Pensacola that actually does a great job at having stuff ready for us delivery drivers. And of course, with a smile. But when you do this enough, you're going to know who's quick, who's not, or sometimes you might have to wait a couple of minutes. If it's under 5 minutes, no problem. Five Guys is one of those places where I may have to wait 5 minutes because a lot of times they'll dip the fries in when you show up in the door. Sometimes they surprise me and have the bags ready to go. Taco Bell is a place that usually has the order in progress when I walk in the door, as long as it's the time of day that I can walk into the door, because if you wait till nighttime, they close their lobbies and it's drive-through only, and that I do not do. And then I look at what's on the other end of that delivery. Is it going to be a short drive back? Am I still going to be in the radius where I can pick up an order after I make that delivery and drive back and possibly have another order waiting? If that's the case, okay, that $1.50 a mile is going to be profitable. But what if the offer is about $1 a mile? For example, $6 to go 5.8 miles. Now keep in mind, a lot of these apps, when they show you that mileage, it's typically from where you're sitting to the restaurant to the delivery. So for those buck a mile things like $6 for 5.8 miles, that's an almost no in every circumstance. However, I will do it under one condition or two conditions only. Number one, does it take me home at the end of the day? Late in the day or evening, that's when your numbers typically go down. In my area, it's typically after 7:30, 8 o'clock. The orders really start dropping off. Then they start getting stupid from all these fast food places with low and no tippers. Or does that $1 a mile earnings get me from one hot zone into another? At that point, I may be ready to bail out of the area that I'm working in. Instead of working in the mall area, maybe I want to go to a west side of town where I know there's going to be more orders waiting for me. Under no circumstances should you ever take a no-tip order. Like $2 on Uber Eats. Most of these app payouts offer a base pay of $2 or $2.50, depending upon who you're driving for. That is an absolute no. $4 is also a red flag on a lot of the apps, because that is within a lot of these apps' pay ranges, $2 to $4 typically for Uber Eats, and I think Grubhub is kind of the same thing. $4 typically is a base pay for them. No, no, no. Do not ever do it. In fact, Pedro DoorDash Santiago just recently put out a video on this topic. It's called No Tip, No Trip 2.0, and it is phenomenal. If you need confirmation as to why, go watch that video. I'll put the link in the description box down below. One of the things that Pedro showed in his video was the line wrapped around a McDonald's, and he made the very good point in this, in that it is a service industry. You, the driver, are doing that customer a favor by doing what they're unwilling to do. The customers can go out and get the stuff themselves if they're not going to tip you, or they can just make a sandwich.
Don't let the companies push you around. Push back, but be smart about it. Be selective in what you're taking. Customers, tip your drivers efficiently. Know how far that restaurant is from you that you're ordering. Be considerate. Gas prices are on the rise. These people out here, myself and all the drivers included, want to bring you your tasty food. But at the end of the day, we get to pick and choose what customers we deal with. And I want you guys to know that. Knowledge is power, okay? And don't be inconsiderate. We're doing something for you that you could, in most cases, do yourself. Customers, you guys see this line? You tip us because we're doing that for you so you don't have to. Simple concept. Drivers, look at the line. Customers, look at the line. Don't ever deliver food to people if you're gonna spend time in a line waiting. Customers don't value your time as a driver, you don't value them at all.
He's right. He is 100% right. I agree with everything he said in that video, because it is your gas, it is your time, it is your wear and tear on the vehicle, and maintenance is a royal pain in the ass to get done. No tip, no trip, drill it into your head, say it to yourself over and over again. Do not ever be tempted to take a no-tip order under any circumstances, even if it is taking you home. It's the principle that you need to do, because it's those low tipping orders that often get you in trouble, and in particularly on cases like Instacart, they're the ones that are going to sink your ratings. They're the ones that are going to give you the bad reviews. You don't want anything to do with them. Let me just show you some examples of one day on Uber Eats of the deliveries that kept me very, very profitable that day. This first one of the day, I made $12.48, 4.8 miles for 25 minutes. That's pretty good. This one was $6.12 to go less than a mile, and that took 15 minutes. Okay, the time was a little long on that, but I was also very close to the restaurant, which is why I took it. This payout of $10.03 for 4.4 miles in 24 minutes, that's pretty good. That's still within my range of $20 an hour goal. This payout of $10.59, 1.7 miles, took me 17 minutes to do. This one of $23.06, 8.7 miles. See, I told you, 7 or 8 mile deliveries is not uncommon in my market, and that took me 50 minutes to do. That's pretty good. $23 in 50 minutes, again, well within my $20 an hour goal. Now, when I talk about $20 an hour goal, I'm talking about overall average of the day. So I do need orders like this to help pad that a little bit to make up for the downtime. $21.39, 9.3 miles, 43 minutes. $17.96 for 5.8 miles, 26 minutes. Now, when I accepted this offer, it was coming in at $13.12. So again, I had to look at that dollars to mile. $2 a mile? Yes. Could I do that in $20 an hour rate? Yes, because Uber Eats does give me the time estimate as to how long they think it would take. And I think their time estimates are pretty good. $18.91. Again, when I accepted this order, it came in at $18.09. So the payout was slightly higher at the end. Uber Eats says the customer tipped me more after delivery. That's great. 7.3 miles, 45 minutes. $11.82 for 2.5 miles at 16 minutes. And then my very last one of the day, $19.99 to go 5.7 miles in a duration of 46 minutes. Every day isn't going to be that good. That was a very good day. I have those days fairly frequently. That's a little bit outside the average, but that's why we have averages. You have good days, you have not so good days, and then you have the stuff that's in between, and it all averages out to that middle line. So days like this really makes up for this. That keeps me here, and that keeps me in my goals. So now Grubhub says they're going to be helping us with the increased gas costs. They and Uber have both announced changes. DoorDash has not, and neither has Waiter or any of the other apps. In an email on March 10th, Grubhub tells us drivers that delivery partners like you are the driving force of Grubhub, and we continue to be committed to ensuring our drivers feel supported. Due to increased gas prices in your market, we are offering a series of ways to lessen the impact to your wallet, such as increased per mile distance pay for all delivery partners nationwide starting March 9. Pay adjustments will be consistent with average per mile cost increases for gas in your region. Extra earning opportunities through in-app missions that can help boost pay. And yes, I have seen a few of those in the last few days. Discounted gas through Gas Buddy and additional pay based on the estimated total miles driven as reported in the app for each calendar week ending on Sunday. The total extra amount paid out for mileage increases with total weekly mileage. This ensures delivery partners that drive farther see a larger earnings adjustment. Again, that's going to help in my zone where I tend to do a lot more driving because, again, you're talking about deliveries that are typically anywhere from 5, 7 to 9 miles. Now, here's what Uber is doing for us drivers. We know the unprecedented spike in gas prices and rising energy costs have affected how much money you're taking home. To help, we're rolling out a temporary fuel assistance on Wednesday, March 16th for all drivers and couriers, including those with electric vehicles. In Pensacola, Florida, your customers will pay a 55-cent surcharge on every ride and a 45-cent surcharge on every delivery. And 100% of the surcharge will go directly to you. This means that if you complete 40 rides in a week, you'll get an extra $22 that week. Similarly, if you complete 40 deliveries in a week, you'll get an extra $18 that week. We plan to reevaluate the situation in 60 days. At that point, we'll consider gas prices and your feedback in determining whether or not to continue this fuel assistance surcharge. And then they're also offering a partnership with Get Upside. So, this is really important, and I'm glad that Uber and Grubhub is doing this because my experience, unfortunately, through all the delivery apps, I'm not really seeing any sympathy for us drivers from the customer side regarding higher gas costs. I still see a lot of the same garbage offers time and time again. Low tip, no tip orders, but I also still see the very good customers who I serve repeatedly, and they're continuing to tip well. And it's those customers who I take, and it's those customers that are helping me to ride through this wave of high gas prices. I hope you found this information useful and encouraging so that you can be profitable through these really challenging times. It's bad enough we already went through a whole bunch of grocery store shortages, the supply chain issues, which have not corrected themselves yet, and now we're dealing with high gas prices on top of that. So now this is your chance to work smarter, not necessarily harder, so that you can remain profitable or maybe even just become profitable if you haven't already. So again, set your goals. Set your hourly rate that is good in your market, and also set that per mile goal as to how much money you want to see that will keep you profitable and keep you moving. Some of that's going to come through trial and error, but that's okay. Give it a try. And if that doesn't work for you, well, try a different tactic. Be nimble, keep moving around, be signed up on multiple platforms so that you can choose the best offers. Please like this video and subscribe, and make sure you tap that notification bell so you don't miss any more of my videos with my tips to keep you profitable and keep you moving. I'm Brian with Bulldog Delivers. Until next time, go get 'em!